a lot of artists confuse Spotify and other streaming platforms for sales platforms, when in reality they're just marketing and promotional platforms. And it's really easy to confuse because you see a lot of artists making a bunch of money on streams. You see that you get paid per stream, and then you even have iTunes where people can buy digital downloads of your music. And where I would probably agree that iTunes is more of a sales platform in that portion of the aspect, not in the streaming aspect. But a lot of people, they get confused. They're like, wait, streaming, I should be getting more money off of this. And then you hear all the arguments, right? You hear all the arguments. Oh, well, these platforms are ripping artists off. They don't pay us for the streaming, and we don't get paid what we're worth. It takes this many streams in order to equal one album sale and stuff like that, right? But people fail to realize, a lot of people, even people in the marketing space, right? I'm here in the marketing space. I got a lot of other people out here that see streaming platform as a sales avenue, and it's not. And that's because streaming, such as Spotify, for instance, I'll use Spotify as the example since they're the biggest one. Streaming like Spotify, they're just like radio, terrestrial radio, right? Even XM radio, right? And why do I say that? Well, because, on radio, you tend to get paid royalties for your streams, right? You get paid. It's not that much, but you get paid a little bit. However, when you go on radio, you're just trying to get the exposure. And radio is kind of dying nowadays, right? But radio was always about the exposure. It was never about making money directly off of radio plays. Never was. But so many people see a one-for-one transaction, and honestly, it's because most of our society lives on a time-based valuation system as opposed to a value-based valuation system. What do I mean by that is so many people are used to getting paid for, I get paid this much per hour that I work. Every hour that I work, I get paid this much. And so they have that kind of a mindset to where they think, okay, so for every stream, I get this much. So, I need to get my streams up so I get more money, right? Instead of thinking, oh wait, I need to provide more value to my fans to where they would actually want to give me more money based on the value. Because see, a value-based system is I provide something to you. You get great value out of it in excess of what you pay. So, if I run a marketing campaign for you, for instance, or I build a website for you, or hell, like, a carpenter builds a chair for somebody, right? That service is based on the value that's given. Like when you go to a nice restaurant, right? A nice 5-star restaurant, you get different quality food than what you get at McDonald's, right? But, you can get a cheeseburger in one place and a cheeseburger in another place. The value of it is not the same, therefore the price is not the same either, right? Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. So that's what I think causes a lot of misconception with musicians, is that you guys are so used to that kind of a society, because that's the kind of society we live in, honestly. But like I said, streaming platforms are just like radio. It's all about the value that you get, because you can get a much better read on who your actual audience is, and your actual audience can grow a lot better off of a streaming platform than it ever could on a radio. See, whenever you put a song up on the radio, not only do you have to pay, a lot of money to get it up there, right? T-Pain, Wendy Day, Nick D, all these people have said how, hey, look, it costs a couple $100,000 just to, sorry, a couple $100,000, Jesus Christ, over $200,000 to start getting charting on terrestrial radio. And T-Pain even said that. And it's T-Pain, right? Back in the T-Pain days, he was even saying that how much does that cost, right? With streaming, you don't have to spend that much. You spend $200,000 on a campaign to get your streaming up? Bro, you want to talk about some reach? You want to talk about some fan base growth? Like, that's insane. You spend that, you're going to spend that over a whole year. You're not just going to be spending that in a month, you know? So that's the thing, is that terrestrial radio, it had a lot of downfalls. You know, it would play a lot of other music that was kind of the same, and in every area there's usually at least two different options for the same style of music, whether it's rock, hip-hop, country, you know, jazz, whatever, right? There's usually two options. And when they play a song that you don't like, you turn off the radio or go to another station, right? Or maybe even just, you know, ended up popping in a CD or a cassette or 8-track, depends on how old you are, right? You stop listening, they don't know that. They don't know, hey, this listener doesn't like that song. Hell, they wouldn't know if half their listener base didn't like that song, right? Because a lot of times with terrestrial radio, excuse me, a lot of times with terrestrial radio, they were able to monitor who was listening, but it was not the best, right? Still is not. But they definitely couldn't understand why somebody stopped listening. They couldn't tell if you just wanted to listen to a different song. They couldn't tell if you were going to sleep. They couldn't tell if you were going to work, you were getting out of your car. They couldn't tell any of that. Excuse me again. However, with streaming platforms, they can tell exactly why you're no longer listening. If you turn that app off, well, for one, they're still monitoring your phone. Don't let them fool you on that one, right? So they'll be able to tell if you go over to a different platform and start listening to something else. But you have the ability to hit thumbs down on a specific song. You can skip the next song, and then that will train the recommendation engine, which a lot of people call the algorithm, but it's really a recommendation engine. It will give them the ability to train that for you specifically as a listener. So you don't have to worry about, oh God, yeah, we're listening to the radio again today at work, man. Some of the songs are okay, but they play the same 7 songs all day. And it's not the same 7 songs I want to listen to all day, right? And with streaming, you can literally listen to the same 7 songs all day, and they'll be the songs that you want to listen to. Because not only do you have millions and millions of songs at your disposal, but you can create your own playlist. And even if you don't create your own playlist, the recommendation engine, the algorithm that is tracking everything that you do, and even the smallest little micro actions, right? Like halfway through the song, you skip to the next one. Okay, well, that person didn't 100% like that song. Let's try again with them a little bit later, right? It runs all kinds of computations to figure out what the best mix of songs for you is going to be. Because, their overall business model is to keep people listening. And if you're not listening, they don't make any money. And if you're not happy, you're not going to listen. So that's what their overall business model is. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, all the spying that they're doing and tracking you and everything, it's an invasion of privacy and it's sinister and stuff. Yeah, okay. There's quite possibly a component to that. But the biggest component is to keep you engaging, keep you indulging in their content, right? So that's why Spotify and streaming platforms are a marketing and promotional tool instead of a sales tool, right? Just like radio used to be. However, it's better than radio. Okay, much, much better than radio. And I'm sure everybody will agree on that. Streaming platforms are better than radio. Everybody's gonna fucking agree to that. Except for maybe the radio station owner or a DJ on terrestrial radio, right? Who hasn't branched into online space yet, right? Those people are probably not gonna agree. But the TV repairman didn't like the whole, oh wait, you're selling brand new TVs cheaper than what it is to repair? Fuck, you're gonna put me out of business, right? And that's the situation that always happens. You know, the guy who raised horses for horse and carriages, he got pissed whenever the automobile came around. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just how it goes with change. But you can target your exact audience on streaming platforms way better than you can on any other platform on the internet, even any platform off the internet. Just think about this. The streaming platforms know exactly what kind of music that their listeners like to listen to. Okay? So, if you start putting your stuff in front of a general correct audience on social media, then a lot of those people who like your music are going to start listening to it. And then that builds the database on who likes not only that specific song from you, but your music catalog in total. And so what they do is they start recommending it and putting it in the feed of other people that are similar to those people. And that's what causes you to start growing organically. There's a lot of other factors that go into play with this, one of which is playlisting. And it's not in the way that a lot of y'all think. See, a lot of misconception on playlisting is around as well too. I'm breaking through all the barriers right now, breaking through all the misconception. It's playlisting. It is worse to get on a huge playlist, right? Let's say you get on a million listener playlist, right? You get on a million listener playlist, you might get, a few 100,000 streams out of it or something like that, right? And you may be thinking, oh, that's dope. I got on this big playlist. It's got over 1 million people. I got this big audience now. Right? I got a lot of people that started listening to me because of that playlist. Okay. Get off that playlist for 2 months and see if you are still keeping the same amount of people coming back month over month, release after release. You're not. You're going to have a residual dwindling because a lot of times on these playlists, it's not necessarily the wrong audience. It's just not the correct exact audience. See? A lot of people don't understand this, but it's actually better for you as an artist to get on 1 million different people's individual playlists than it is to get on 1 million listener playlist. And see, some of y'all are probably like, what? Man, that doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Why would... No, because if somebody adds you to their playlist, that tells the recommendation engine that you really like that person. And the more people that they see that add you to their playlist, that tells them, hey, look, all these people really like this person. Like, they took the extra step. So let's send it to more people who are kind of like them, who have a tendency to add to the playlist, right? And then when you do that, you can actually rack up more plays, not just in the moment, but residual over time off of that kind of situation than you ever could off of spending hundreds of dollars to get on these big playlists, Lyrical Lemonade or whatever, right? One time, or even, 6-7 times a year. I hope you guys understand, just with that breakdown that I did right there, why streaming platform is a marketing and promotional tool, not a sales platform. And also why Spotify and all these other streaming platforms are way better than terrestrial radio ever could be. Like I said, Spotify and all these streaming platforms, say one more time for the people in the back, Spotify and all these streaming platforms are marketing and promotional tools, not sales tools. And Spotify and these streaming platforms are just like terrestrial radio, but way better. Okay, now if that puts it into context for you, now you're probably sitting there like, okay, Harkos, yeah, you just told me all this. Dude, you didn't fucking help me learn anything. So how do I fucking make sales? Well, that's actually simpler. See, there's only a couple ways to get sales. And the best way to get sales is directly off your website. And you can get it in a couple different ways, like I just said. I kind of speaking backwards. You can sell merchandise, music, or experience. That's what you sell. You sell the experience of a live show, or maybe even a live stream. Some kind of unique experience that these people are going to be getting from you. Maybe it's an insider program where you talk with them, they get to directly communicate with you and ask you questions, maybe contribute to your music in some way, right? That's the experience. Maybe you have a live stream session with your insider group, and only those people who pay $5 a month or $10 a month, whatever, can actually get access to that. Everybody else, they just get some clips here and there and all that. But you're also giving them free downloads of your music included with their stuff. Maybe they get merchandise half off or something like that, right? You give them the experience, and the exclusivity is one way to do it, right? You do it all in the same things. Experience, exclusivity, basically the same situation. And then you obviously have direct music sales. That's either physical copies or digital copies. And then you also have merchandise sales, right? That's how you do it, and you can do all that based off of your website. Now, a lot of people are like, Harkos, man, dude, website is so fucking expensive, man. I gotta pay hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for somebody to build it, or I gotta learn how to build it my own, and I don't have any time, blah, blah, blah. Even once I get it up and running, now I'm sitting here paying, $40, $50 a month, maybe $60 a month, just to keep the motherfucker up and running. I'm not even making a single penny off of sales yet, shit like that. But there is always more than one way to do something. And I've explained this on previous videos. I'll explain it really quick right now. You build a website for free on Wix, right? Stick with the free plan. It's free forever, as long as you're not running any direct sales out of it. Okay? Now what you do, I know you're probably, Harkos, you just said I could sell shit on my website. Right. So you want to sell merchandise, but you don't quite have the amount of sales per month to justify you paying the $30, $40 a month or whatever to host with Wix, right? So what you do is you go with, Teespring or Spring or whatever they call them, some of these print-on-demand companies. I would personally recommend a personal friend of mine who has a company as well too. If you guys want the lowdown on that, let me know, because it has free shipping included in the price, higher quality, much higher quality, and next day shipping on stuff. All right, so you guys want the plug on a dope merchandise plug, let me know. Hook you up with that, no problem. But when it comes to your album sales and stuff, you can run that through either MailChimp, through a landing page right there, and it'd be like $13 a month to have that option for MailChimp. A lot of times there'll be another option where it's just you pay per transaction, or you can even run it through PayPal, right? You can do something like that. You can do direct hand-to-hand with people and stuff, where you get their email and you send them their stuff after they've, you get the confirmation from their PayPal that you send it back to that exact PayPal email. And then that way the customer's protected, you're protected, all that kind of stuff, right, under PayPal. I recommend PayPal for everything. But you do that, well, now you're building the email list with your fans, and these are all people who have taken a couple extra steps with you, because not only do they like and follow your content online, maybe even stream your shit, but now they've taken the extra step to go to your website and maybe download some of your free music you got available on there, or even buy some of your stuff, right? Well, you set up an account with MailChimp that's free up to 500 people, unless of course you're running sales out of it. And like I said, you got to pay a little bit extra, but $13 a month is way better than $40 a month for their website hosting with Wix. You get all that set up, right? And then you're probably like, yeah, Harkos, but with the free site, it's gonna have some junky ass fucking URL. It's gonna be hard to just tell somebody what my website is off the cuff. Yeah, that's why you go to GoDaddy. You buy your URL that you want, your custom, yournamemusic.com or whatever, right? And then you do what's called DNS forwarding to your free Wix site. Boom, done. Done. You can create landing pages for specific projects, either on MailChimp or even on your website, offer a free portion, and then what you can do is you can go to GoDaddy, you can buy another URL for that specific project, you know, like hotnewmixtape.com or whatever, you know. Obviously, like, you know, like let me see, I'm in the woods, thewoodsoundtrack.com, right? Everybody go get the Woods soundtrack. It's like 12 great songs about, you know, chilling in the woods or whatever, right? You can do that, and you can point that with a DNS forwarding at the exact page you want them to go to. Excuse me. I guess I'm choking up, so I guess that means to shut the fuck up, huh? But you can do all this stuff. A lot of times you can do it for free. You should be spending your time. Obviously, if you don't have any time, but you got some extra money, and you just want to get it done for you, hit me up. I got you. I do all the shit I talk about. Do it for artists. I've done it for myself, everything like that. So hit me up. Other than that, I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here so y'all can get to work on creating your platform in order to start getting people from your social media to your streaming platforms, to your website, from the streaming platforms, and actually start making direct sales from them and start growing your music career. I'll let you later.